everyone. This is
Family Focus,
the engaging,
empowering,
enlightening,
uplifting
family program brought to you by
HV Family Ministry.
I am Sharette Oliphant.
And I am Patrick Gordon.
Patrick, what does family mean to you?
Family to me means support. Why support? We need a father and a mother. And you know, when we bring a child into this world, we need family support. With that support, it is that which we need for the world to see, especially in all churches, especially in all homes. Because when you have that family support, we know that we have mother, child, father, and we have a union, a unity in the family.
And that's such a good point, because support, we need support to get to heaven, and Jesus is the support. So I like that answer, Patrick. But you know what saddens me is that our family breakdown in the church is the same statistic as it is in the world. Now, 10, 15, 20 years ago, the statistics was 1 to 2 families, 1 to 2 marriages. 50% of all marriages were broken down. The church today shows the same statistics. And even if persons aren't divorced, they are broken down within their own home. So there's no unity, there's no support, as you said earlier. And that is why our program, Family Focus, is here to
engage us in family unity.
And some of our segments that we'll have throughout this program
is Family Link Up,
Sunday Pillow,
and then we have How I Made It.
We'll also have Doctor's Call. We'll also have Quibs and Tips by Dr. Novel Dale. And this segment is especially for our children, because this program caters to young and old and everybody in between.
About the legal view of the family.
No, what is that about?
Oh, the legal view of the family focus is law within the family.
All right. And also, we'll end the program every week with a special encouraging tip called It Is Written.
Tell them about it.
It Is Written is applying our family dynamics to the Word. How does the Word shows and guides us how we ought to live as a family? So come, join us for the conversation.
Tune in. Be a part of us. Call friends. Call someone. Let them sit and be a part of our family focus. Good evening. Welcome to Pillow Talk. And I'm your host, Patrick Gordon.
And I am Sharette Oliphant. Welcome to Family Focus.
Today we'll be looking at temperament and
do you know your family?
And
when personalities clash.
Good. Yes. So today we will see the different types of personality and how they mesh. And whether or not if they are synchronized or they're not synchronized. So go ahead.
All right. So when we talk about personalities, Patrick, usually, generally these days, it has evolved. And typically now we speak of type A, type B, type C, and type D personality. There are many different types of personality tests, but the most popular one these days is called Myers-Briggs. And we will look at that a little later down in our program when our special guest comes on. But just for summary, Patrick, the type A personality is the person who is strong-willed. They're the leader. They're the boss. They are quite the go-getter. That's you? All right. Now, if we want to put it in that, give a biblical example, Paul would be a type A personality. And why Paul?
Paul was a go-getter. Paul was always on the move. Paul was always ready to even to lead the rest of the disciples. Paul was always on the go and ready to go out.
And even when he wasn't chosen as one of the 12 disciples, Paul went out and was the #1 missionary.
Right.
Most of the New Testament was written by Paul. So that's the type A personality. These persons are the directors in companies, and we don't have a lot of leaders. We tend to have a lot of middle persons. So you can see that these persons usually excel in their field.
Right.
All right, so the type B personality now, that person is who we call a socializer. They're fun-loving, they're enthusiastic, they're sociable.
They tend to be. And once you're around those type of persons, guarantee that you will never go bored.
Right. They're the life of the party.
They're active. To be honest with you, they're almost in every activity that you can think of.
Yes, like salt.
Like salt.
Some people say enough.
Enough.
And the biblical character that we can link type B personality to is Peter.
And why Peter? Peter was the one you will, at the time of Christ's crucifixion.
Where was he?
In the crowd.
In the crowd.
He was mingling in the crowd. He was. You wouldn't know that it's Peter if you don't know who is Peter.
That's right. And when Peter was converted, and on the day of Pentecost, what was he? He was the preacher. He was the enthusiastic. He was the charismatic personality who, when he preached, how many persons got baptized?
He now become the go-getter now.
Yes.
In the business of going out there and getting
right, but never strayed from his personality of who he was. And then we have a type C personality. And these persons now are the thinkers. They may not talk much.
You're talking about Moses?
Yes, we're talking about Moses. Yeah. How many times have you read in the Word where Moses himself writes that he counseled God?
He counseled God.
Not God counseled, he counseled God. He was the thinker. He was the thinker. And Moses at one point even said that, God, if you're going to destroy
the people, destroy
me. Right. He was like that. The final personality that we look at is a type D personality. And these persons are calm.
Very.
Nothing gets them ruffled too much.
No care how things are rough and hard with them, or even if they're going through a particular crisis at that time, they're very, very calm at that moment, as if nothing at all trouble them.
And you will think that they're simple. You call this Jamaican like to say, simply, man. Like nothing to get him ruffled. And can you guess which Bible character this one is linked to?
I say Abraham.
That's right on the ball. Abraham was like this. That he was so calm that when he went to Egypt and sold Sarah to Pharaoh, he didn't even let it bother him. He didn't even think twice about what the effect would be. So those are the four major personality types that research has coined down. But these personality types are also linked to temperaments.
Oh.
And you are going to talk about that for a minute, Patrick. What are the four types of temperaments? I say type A is the assertive, go-getter, and that is linked to what kind of temperament? Type
A will link to, what you call it again?
Choleric.
And choleric persons, this temperament type enjoy taking risks and get bored easily. They can be domineering and opinionated. They find it easy to make decisions, and not only for themselves, but for others as well.
So they are, and this sounds like this, we will, the downside to this personality is that we may see them as dictators.
Right.
Or aggressive.
You find them somewhat dictator. They have that dictator thing about them. But at the end of the day, they get results.
They get results.
That's
So they're goal oriented.
They're goal oriented.
All right. So the type B personality now
is the sanguine.
Is the sanguine.
Boy.
Well,
I somewhat kind of see myself in that area. And listen why. Let me tell you why.
Yes.
People with sanguine temperament type have a wide range of emotions and also a wide range of behavior. They are the most versatile of all the temperaments.
Why versatile?
Depending on the secondary temperament, they might be involved in nearly any human activity, however they enjoy. They're enjoying interaction and changes.
All right. And then the type C is linked to phlegmatic. These words can be tricky. Yes, the phlegmatic. Or is it melancholic? I
think it's melancholic. These temperaments, yes, they are logical, and they're logical and they're analytic. So these persons are thinkers. They think through things. They brainstorm things, and these are the type of person you want to have on your team. Especially for team playing, these are the type of person you want to have on your team to get things go, to think things out, to ensure that things are on top of things, as how you will put it.
All right. And then the final personality that we looked at was type D, and that then will be linked to phlegmatic. And who are phlegmatics?
They are easygoing, calm. They
you sound like your voice sound like who they are.
You know, I probably have they are persons with mixed emotions. Yeah, some of them will probably have some type of phlegmatic, so they're probably emotionless. They don't find things really happening around them, and they know it is happening, but they just relax.
Not a thing, don't bother them. But what is key to note, though, Patrick, is that no one person has one personality or one temperament.
But can you have all four?
I'm not sure about all four. You may have a little, but two is always is dominant.
And since I mentioned two, the sanguine, I think mainly you find that in males.
But you have females who are fun loving and everything
you
too.
Find it. I think about it. A male would easily get up and run out there, party, in congregation, enjoying herself, while a female is more on the reserved inside of it.
So you're automatically putting the females in the phlegmatic and the melancholic part of the scale.
You said that, not me.
You said that. You said that.
I want to load it in, but you said.
Oh, all right. Well, in the second segment, when our guest presenter comes, she will clarify all of that for you.
And she will agree with most of the stuff I said. I believe you.
Let us see. All right. So, in recapping, let's read. Type A, choleric. Type B, sanguine. Type C, melancholic. And type D, phlegmatic. So each personality is unique. But what we must realize that everyone, I have two dominant ones, Patrick has two dominant, and we may have 1 and 2 points from the others. But we are never solely one person or one type of temperament. So, Patrick, what if it is, looking at your own family, do you see any specific one of these personalities coming out?
Yes. What's in mine?
I know, you know what is funny? Normally, I can tell persons who are family because they tend to act the same way most of them. So if one is outgoing, then most of...
My wife is more on the reserved side.
Okay.
So where would you put her?
No, you tell me. It's your wife. I don't want to tell you where she falls, Patrick. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
In the next segment, we will find out.
I can tell you where my husband falls. All right. So in the family, you may realize that you have certain temperaments or personalities that are common throughout the family because children take after one parent or both. So in my family now, I know that Isabel takes after Pastor, Caris takes after me. I'm yet to decide where Zahira falls. So we may see at least 2 or 3 personalities coming in the house, and then clashes, and you don't know if it's going to mesh.
My little one, my daughter seems to take off. So me and my son seem to take off his mother. And then at the same time, I still see a little bit of me and my son. And then, but there's more of me and my daughter.
So if it's 3 children, one just mix up.
One just mix up.
Oh dear.
Jesus and peace.
One just mix up.
Domineering bad though.
Oh dear. Well, it's better you say that about them.
No, they say I only have 2. I don't know where mine to this time.
All right, so it is easy then for families, even from the dating stage where they say opposites attract.
All right.
So persons come together with different personalities, different temperaments, and if they don't know how to channel or how to work through the challenges of each personality type, then there will be constant conflict in the family. But if we realize that each of us is different, and as the Bible says, we're all fearfully and wonderfully made. That means that God never made just one type of person. So if everybody was choleric, no, all the bosses, everybody would be leaders. It said too much cook spoil the broth. So
That's
everybody,
true.
we couldn't have too many cholerics.
Too much, you can have too much water, dig one hole.
That is it.
Problem.
So it would be a problem if everyone had the same personality type. And our families are unique in that.
So let me ask a question. Is it that, do you think persons really look at these types when they're actually dating?
Yes, I think that is where premarital counseling comes in, because when I was doing premarital counseling, that is something that we looked at, our personality types and how it is, what is pastor's strength and weaknesses, what are mine, and how we can work on our strengths together, and either you ignore or you work out
and this
the challenges.
And this forum is good, especially for those who are thinking of getting married.
Yes.
And for those who are in dating, these are the things that they should look for, and these are things that they need to understand of each other before they actually get into the deeper water. Because when you're in the deeper water,
yeah, that's sink or you swim.
There's sink or you swim.
Right.
And if you can't swim,
you drown.
all right. So any other aspect of it that we need to look at?
Not in this segment. In our second segment, we'll meet up with our special guest who will introduce right after this segment. And feel free to post your questions on our pages, and we will seek to get an answer from you throughout our program. Patrick, we're now at the end of part 1 of our Pillow Talk, and what an interesting discussion it has been so far.
And I want for you to stay tuned, join with me in Family Link Up.
I'm excited to see which family you have on board today.
Oh, good question. So today we will join online with with Bailey's family, Randell Bailey.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. And after Family Link Up, join us for a one-on-one conversation with our special guest who will introduce right after Family Link Up. See you then.
Welcome to Doctor's Call. Today we'll be focusing on the benefits of exercise on the mind, body, and soul. Now, to exercise or starting to exercise can seem like a very daunting process for most of us. However, there are lots of benefits that can be reaped only if we do it in correct stages or in the correct ways. And these benefits exceed just physical improvement, but can also improve your mental health. From a mental health point of view, exercise has been shown to increase your energy level. So it helps to fight fatigue. And, many people who exercise early in the morning will tell you all the time that they're able to go through the day without, falling asleep after lunch and feeling more focused. So that's definitely one attribute or one benefit to exercising. Exercise helps with your mental health as well. So what we found is that exercise can help to boost your energy level, and persons who exercise very early in the morning will tell you all the time that they are less fatigued throughout the day and that they are more focused and they can concentrate on a given task. It's also been shown to help in improving your long-term memory, and that's because with exercise, there's increased blood flow to the hippocampus, which is very crucial for the conversion of short-term memory to long-term memory. So not only is your energy level improved, you are also able to retain information for much longer. Exercise also helps with delaying the onset or even in helping with the development of degenerative or cognitive disorders such as Alzheimer's. So that's a very, very important fact to note. Exercise is also a part of the cornerstone in the treatment of mental disorders such as anxiety and depression. So, exercise really has many impacts on our mental health and our mental well-being. From a physical standpoint or physical health standpoint, very obviously is that exercise helps with weight loss. So for patients who are obese or who are just really trying to maintain the weight, exercise is very, very crucial. And not only does it help with fighting obesity or combating obesity, obesity is linked to many non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and exercise directly impacts the onset of these conditions or can be used as a mainstay in the treatment of these non-communicable disorders. Other physical impacts of exercise is that it can be used in the treatment or as a part of the mainstay treatment for conditions such as sexual dysfunction. So men have erectile dysfunction. Exercise has been very, very crucial in helping to treat those conditions. Exercise also helps in maintaining the bone health and muscle. So for females who are getting older, who are going into the menopausal transition, exercise is very, very crucial in fighting osteoporosis because it gets your muscles, very strong, or build your muscle strength rather, and also help and delaying the breakdown of your bone mineral density. And lastly, for those of us who suffer from insomnia or the inability to fall asleep very easily, exercise has been very beneficial in helping with insomnia. And that's simply because you're so fatigued or so tired from the exercise that you really fall asleep much easier or much earlier. Now, yes, it may seem very daunting, but at this point in time, most at home more than usual. So this is a great time to start an exercise regime or to start to incorporate exercise in our daily routine. We start with a small session, and what actually recommended is that we should do about 150 minutes of moderate exercise. So that's about 30 minutes or 5 days for the week, or 75 minutes for the week of intense exercise. And eventually, very soon, you'll start reaping the benefits. So get on out there, get your weights going, try going online, seeing different regimes that are available, the resources are there, and ultimately we'll all exercise our way into being healthier, happier versions of ourselves. So.
Now we are joined today by Randell Bailey on Family Link Up. So welcome, Mr. Bailey. How are you today?
Thank you very much. I'm doing well.
And family?
Well, the family is, praise God, doing well as well.
All right.
That's a lot of wells. The family is doing well too.
Right, very good, very good. Well, we are here to discuss on differences in personality and temperament. But before we get into that aspect of it, I must say congratulations to you in receiving a newborn. How does it feel?
Yes, that's a nice way of putting it. Receiving indeed. Well, it's interesting. Well, for those who maybe are watching and don't know, when you say a new one, you mean the birth of my wife and I. We had a daughter. And it's interesting because though I'm not a first-time parent, it is the first time I'm able to say I'm a father of children. And that takes in a little bit of, it takes some getting used to. And then, of course, there is also the challenge of having to deal with providing for a toddler, while also providing for a newborn. It's a learning experience every day, but still something we're enjoying so far. The challenges are there, but we're still praising God. It's been an awesome experience.
God is good. God is good. So you actually answered the next question, how you're actually coping with it, but you actually answer it in one.
Well, I could say a little more because I remember having late nights with with our first daughter, but with the second one, it's different. She just does not like sleep once it gets to the dark, and after having put the first one down to bed, and you think, okay, you have a break because it's no nighttime. That's when she gets going, and it's a task, but embracing it.
That's a part of the package. You don't just get baby,
I know.
you get everything else that comes with it. I won't envy, because I've passed my lot. Okay then, all right. Let me ask you this: who is Randell Bailey?
Randell Bailey is
Two words.
Is a father, a Christian father, and a Christian husband.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
I have to qualify the 2 words.
All right. Okay then. I realize that there's a lot of R's in the family. So it's the R's big family. No. Let me ask of you to introduce to us, your family, including your wife as well. Introduce to us your family.
Okay, so I'm Randell Bailey. My wife is Racine Bailey, and we have 2 girls, Rael Bailey and Raylan Bailey. And as you said before, we are the RBs, coming soon to our student review.
No, was it a planned thing to have so much R's in it?
Well, I didn't plan to get married to a lady with a name beginning with R. But once that happened, then the rest just wrote itself. How could we pass up on that opportunity?
All right, good. So let me ask you this: what type of personality would you say you have personally? What type of personality do you have, or what type of traits do you have? Are you sanguine, choleric, or what do you call it, phlegmatic?
Phlegmatic.
Phlegmatic.
Well, the truth is, you said traits a while ago, which is the best way to put it, because you would know, of course, that everybody has elements from all personality traits, all personality groupings. Mm-hmm. But I would say I'm most fit into the category of a phlegmatic.
Okay. So you are always on the go. You're always the one who make and analyze situation, differences, and stuff like that. All right.
Well, analysis is kind of a part of who I am and what I do professionally as well.
Professionalism. Okay. All right. So let me ask, who do you think Riel take off?
Again, I think she's a very interesting combination between my wife and I. I think my wife is as phlegmatic as I am, but with some differences in there because, for example, while she is all about helping others, she has a heart of gold and she wants to see the best for others. She's not necessarily as keen as I am on, how do I say, I want to make sure she don't fight when she sees this. She's not necessarily as big on friendships, in terms of just having a lot of friends and having a lot of connections. I'm a little bit more open than she is in that regard. But whoever she does regard as a friend is somebody that can count themselves very lucky. So in that regard, to answer the question you asked about our daughter, Rael, I see a little bit of Rael a little bit of me and my wife in Rael. A little bit of me in that she is definitely inquisitive and she's ready to try and figure things out, and she's very much, when she's in the mood, she's very much a people person, wanting to smile with folks and everything. But then on the other side of it, I see where she can be quite she can be very quiet like her mother. She can be very loving and very, very affectionate. Even with our newborn, Raylan, I see where sometimes she just holds her and gives her a kiss. And I have to be fighting her off because she doesn't know how to give gentle kisses. So she's trying to stifle the baby, but still just showing love, you know? So yeah, I see a little bit of both of us in her.
All right, that is good. That is good. So so in an introspect, or let me not say that then. I know you can't tell me anything about the new one that just born because I mean, she's just who she is, right? For now.
I know, could I tell you a little bit? I could have tell you a little bit because when let me just take a step back very quickly. When my wife was when we were expecting Rail, I remember there were times when I would go and lie by my wife's tummy or talk to her tummy, and wherever Rail was in her tummy, she would come to where I am. Like literally, I could feel, and my wife would tell me she could feel her moving from one side of her tummy over to where I am. And we always knew that that was an indication that this was going to just be a loving child who likes to kiss and hug and, you know, and she's been just that ever since birth. And then now we get to Raylan, where when she was in the tummy, I remember every single time I talked to her, the only thing I'd get is a kick. She didn't like to be bothered. She didn't like to be, you know, wherever she positioned herself and she was comfortable. If my wife moved in a different way that caused her to become uncomfortable, is thumps and kicks and, you know, she wasn't having it. And now that she's here, she's that same kind of baby where when she's comfortable, leave her alone. And if you do trouble her, if you think you're doing her a favor by fixing her and propping her up, whatever, it's gonna be hell because she will not stop crying until you put her back where she was. Leave me alone. That's her.
Boy, oh boy, I mean, you're running ahead of all the questions that I have, but...
I'm sorry. You asked me about my family, so
yeah,
you know, passion.
No, it's not a problem.
Rose.
It's not a problem. I mean, I'm interviewing you and you're actually sharing with us all of these wonderful things about yourself and your family. And, you know, what is also good about it is that the fact that there's there's a father and a mother in the home, you know, in terms of disciplinary actions and how to curb your young one. You know, tell us how do you and you know both partners, how do you handle the situation? You know, knowing that you know it's real, so because she's the older one, right? You already know what her temperament is like. You know, how do you handle situations of her temperament?
Well, as a veteran father, you know that when they get to what they call it. No, I'm saying you are a veteran father.
Okay.
So you would know that they have a thing called terrible twos, and you know they're in that. She's in that phase now where she can communicate, but she can't say exactly what is on her mind. So being a disciplinarian it requires a lot of understanding because I can't afford to be too hard on her when it is that she's just learning, she's just trying to explore, she's just trying to develop as every child should, while also ensuring that the things that are negative and the things that are important for her to learn, even at this early stage, those things are consistent in the way we relate to her. So it's a task all the time, to be honest with you. Just trying to keep that balance to make sure that she knows when daddy speaks, when mommy speaks, you should listen. But at the same time, not expecting her to be as complicit and as compliant as yourself as an adult or, you know, a teenager in the home, because she's just not at that place yet.
And that is important because at the end of the day, what we don't want to do is to instill too much of a hard discipline on our child, and then we lose the trust that we want to develop between us and them, which is also the key important trust between ourselves and our little one. And here on Family Talk, we have Randell Bailey, you know, sharing a little bit of his family with us. But before we go, one final question, Mr. Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from being a father and a Christian father, what advice would you have to give one in the same position as you with a young toddler and a newborn? What advice would you give to that one that is listening now?
I'm wondering if I'm even experienced enough to be giving advice. But what I can definitely say is patience is key. Patience for not just my children, but also for my wife, because we both are experiencing parenting in a very different way. For example, I don't know what it is to breastfeed. I don't know the drain that it puts on the body to have to sit
No,
up with the
we
baby.
don't know.
To yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
But at the same time, because I don't know, when she says or when she responds to things in a certain way, or she wants things to be done in a certain way, I have to be cognizant of her needs and try to be that support person for her. And for the children, the patience is similar. Where Raylan is just doing what babies do. She wants to eat. She wants to be comfortable. She wants to be cool. She wants to be clean. She wants to be dry, and she will cry when she can't get those things. And when she wants to sleep, she will cry until she's comfortable enough to do so. I have to, as a father, be patient with her to allow her to be what it is she has to be at this point. Rael is bubbling over with so much passion for life. She wants to learn everything and do everything and climb everything and mash up everything. And I have to be very patient with her to say, yes, you want to know how this thing works, but this laptop belongs to daddy's office. And if you mash it up, then, we'll have a problem. So let's not try learning how to type just yet and try to walk her through that. So it's great having a wife that appreciates the same thing, and we can bounce off each other in terms of just sharing responsibilities to the children. If she has the baby, I have Rael. If she's taking care of Rael, I have the baby. If she's feeding one, I'm feeding the other or putting the other one to sleep, that kind of thing, because that support process is critical. A lot of times fathers tend to shy away from these early points in the children's lives because, we don't have those soft skills. The child is so small, our hands are so big, we feel like we're going to break them. But we definitely have to be as involved as possible to ensure that our children are sufficiently cared for and our spouses are sufficiently supported.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey, for joining us today at Family Talk, and we appreciate. And we say, tell all the R's in your family, we say hi from Family Talk. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
We'll be out to meet you guys soon. We're keeping our social distance for now, but hopefully by God's grace, we will see you all soon.
Right, as a father to a father, I'll say, take your time, because at the end of the
Certainly.
day, you need the time, wife need the time, and the children need the time. So take your
and
time.
I need a haircut.
I don't know how much more haircut you need than what I have. But, thanks for joining us. And it was a great having you here with us. All right. So thanks for having you. Thanks for having your viewers join here and Family Talk. So we see you next time. And there's the important thing that comes out of it. Patience. And we have to have a lot of patience, gentlemen. And we have to be understanding. And we must work together. Togetherness, patience, and time with the family. Thank you for joining us. And see you later. See you next time. Family Talk.